Okay. Quickly, does everyone have a green and a red card? More important, does anyone not have red? Everyone else is okay? Yeah, please go to the back.
I see.
So, we have to start because we have time. Hello everyone. Welcome to the next workshop, Communication between ALTs and JTs, Cultural Communication. It also means communication between ALTs in different countries. So, first, my name is Damien Pine. I am from Australia. I am a third year ALT and I work at two senior high schools, Kawanabe Senior High School and Satsunan Technical High School. Oh, really? That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. So, we're going to do a few activities throughout the workshop. Basically, every activity is asking your opinion and asking how you think about things. So, because this is communication, I want you to not only think about your answer, so maybe you think green, but think about your partner, your ALT, or your JT's answer. Maybe you are the same, or maybe you are different. So just keep that in your mind. So, anyway, yes, Brad.
I want to go green.
Of course, yes.
Thank you. I'll be green.
So, anyway, we'll start the first activity. It's very simple. I will give you scenarios. So there will be something written on the board. You will have two options, a green option or a red option. So very simply, just put the option you like and look at your partners. And we're good. So, first question, first scenario. Are you perfect? Interesting. So, I see. Yeah, I see two greens. So, thank you everyone. Can anyone holding green please stand up? Alright, everybody. Now these people, maybe they don't think a lot. So, as you noticed, most people said no, you are not perfect. That is good. Nobody is perfect. Which means we all make mistakes. Like saying green. So, question 2 is more serious. Question 2. If you had siblings, would you be the leader or the follower of your siblings? Red or green? 5 seconds. Look at your answers. 4, 3, 2, 1. Interesting. 50-50 split. Next question. Your boss asks you to help them with a task, but your schedule is already full. Would you A, apologize and refuse, or B, accept and work late to complete this? What would you do? Very nice. So, next question. Question 4. Your friends plan a trip, and you don't like their ideas. What would you do? Would you change the plan, or would you just grin and bear it? No, that does not need to be a third option. So, finally, not finally, I think it's 3 more. Next, you walk past a coworker in the hallway. What do? Do you stop walking, smile, say hello, ask how they're going, or do you ignore them? Random coworker. So, next question. You see a nice person and you want to talk to them. Maybe you saw someone at SDC that looked cool. Maybe you're at a sport event and they are the same team as you. I don't care. I don't know. Okay. next question. Can you read minds? Oh, we're thinking about.
We're checking if Damien can read minds.
Well, I read minds that everyone would say no. So, we are finished with the first activity. Thank you guys. As you can see, a lot of people have different options, different opinions. Both are correct, they're just different. So, most importantly, were you and your partner the same for every answer? Or do you have a lot of different opinions and different preferences? So, now that that's finished, we'll start more technical work. So, the goals for today's workshop, I want to do 4 main things. 1, we want to work on techniques for communicating across the cultural barrier. Second, we want to do it while avoiding cultural friction. So not exactly fighting each other, but also being calm and understanding each other. We want to do it by understanding our own culture, because if you do not understand your own culture, it is very difficult to understand the differences between different cultures. And finally, we want to learn how to adjust our actions in order to fit in and work with different cultures. However, there are some things to remember, a few caveats. So first of all, the danger of making generalizations. For example, Brad, can you put your hand up real quick? So Brad is young, white, Australian man. I am young, white, Australian man. We talk about very different things. Our hobbies are different. Our family is different. Our city is different. So everyone, even in the same culture, can be very, very different. So, next, I'm not asking anyone to abandon their own culture. And what I mean is, for example, Japanese people do not need to become non-Japanese. However, they need to understand how and why non-Japanese people do things. And sometimes, if they don't understand, a Japanese person needs to explain why the Japanese way of doing things is what it is. And the opposite, non-Japanese people do not need to become Japanese. However, you need to learn about Japanese culture. If you live and work in this country and in this culture, you should understand a bit of it. You need to be open-minded about the way people do things, and you need to try and work harmoniously within the organization. Because at the end of the day, you are coming here, so you should have the onus of trying. So, with that said, there are 3 main topics I want to talk about today, 3 main areas. The first is communication and conflict resolution style. So, for example, some people are very confrontational and direct, and if they don't like something, they will tell you exactly. And some people are more confrontational and avoidant. They will not tell you, they will hide or give you a roundabout answer. So, quickly, I want you to think, where are you on this line? So just take a couple seconds. And next, there will be a small activity, which is going to be difficult because this room is small. So, as you can see, we have 2 lines, and I've actually screwed it up because they should be switched. So I'm going to switch them. While we're at it, can everybody please stand up? And everybody come to a gap between chairs, between tables. So the front of the room is good. It's actually a little bit different. So, can I get maybe 50% of people to come to the very front? And the other half to organize between the tables. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
So half people are going to front.
let me move this over as well. Okay. Yep, that's good. So,
Damien, do you want us to like spread up?
yes, I want you all to spread up. I want everybody on the sides of the room, no one in the middle. Actually, yeah, for now. I want you to push your chair in. You're about to learn. So, I should have explained before we stood up. I forgot. This activity, as you can see, we are going to listen to more situations. First, ALTs. You are going to guide your JTE. So you are going to decide in a situation, for example, somebody shouted at them. That's you. If someone shouts at your JTE, where would you put them? Would they be very confrontational and say, no, I hate you, don't shout at me? Or would they be avoiding of confrontation, be on the other side, be more quiet? So, ALTs, do we understand?
Yes.
After you do that, JTEs, I want you to think for yourself. Where do you stand? Where do you think you stand? And move. So after you move yourself, think again. What did your ALT expect? And what do you think about yourself? And when you're finished, change part. Switch turns. JT moves ALT and ALT moves themselves.
In confrontation,
Alright, I think we are ready. Ladies and gentlemen in the back and in the front, we are going to try. We'll try the first one. If you really don't understand, we'll try and explain again with more communication. So, our first scenario, ALTs, please move your JTE where you expect them. Your first scenario, the Kensho decided not to pay you this month. They decided not to pay you. So where would they stand? Where do you think your JTE should stand?
I'll put you guys here. Right here. This is where you are. When it comes to money, of course. I have to choose for you. When it comes to money, I choose for you. So I think like here, I think you would.
Alright, we should have answers. This, just so everyone remembers, this is not a yes/no question, this is anywhere on the line. Maybe everyone is doing this.
On the spectrum. Yeah,
So,
I feel around here. Because I don't think it would be like, what have you done?
if everyone has decided, yes, ALTs, please think, where is your JTE right now? So now, JTEs, please move yourself. Where do you think you should stand? Do you think So, we now have a few people change, but some people stayed the same. So both are correct. The way you think about yourself and the way that other people think about you are both important. So now I want you to change. JTEs, move your ALT or the same scenario.
You can choose your Where do you think I should go for money? So you think even more?
I think we have finished again. We're looking pretty good. So, JTEs, please look at where you have moved your ALT And now, ALTs, please move yourself.
I'm messing up. I think it's important. I like to stare at
Second scenario. We'll do it again. Second scenario.
I think I would say, right.
ALTs, please move your JTE again. Second scenario is
Next one.
a student is loud and shouting in class, even when you're trying to talk.
I'm not allowed to intervene, and this should actually happen.
So now you move your JTE.
Okay,
So
I
move your
think-
JTE.
Right here.
Studying, discussing. Study up.
Let's
Let's show like shy at all. I'm not. Demo, if you had bad grades, I think you're bad. I think you'd be like, well told. You're like, nah.
We should be finished.
I think you go there. I think
We've decided. Again, quickly look at where you have placed your JTE and now JTEs. Please move yourself again. How angry will you Alright, it's looking pretty good. We will go to the next question because ALTs technically shouldn't be telling students off. So next question. This time JTEs, move your ALT. So the next question. One of your co-workers is always sleeping at their desk. There's a task you need them to complete. Maybe it is your cultural sensei. Maybe it is, I have no idea who else. Someone that I shouldn't say a name for. So, JTEs, please move your ALT.
Of course.
Alright. Again, we are finished. And one more time, ALTs, please move yourself. So we are finished. So we have finished because there is no time. I'm going to skip the next one. Sorry. Wrong food. Very fun. So talk about it while you sit back down. What did you think? How different were your expectations or your ideas and what other people expected of you? And how different were you from your partner? Because again, there is no right or wrong answer. There are just different answers. And if you don't understand each other, it is very difficult to work together. So, now I want to talk about a few things, a few thinking strategies or ways of thinking that you would know are very simple, but maybe you can't put into words. So So the further on the left someone is, the more confrontational and direct they are. Normally, they have things like this. They feel that problems are best solved by getting them out in the open. They do not feel that confrontation damages relationships. They feel that differences in opinions should be surfaced, and they say clearly what they are thinking. They do not hesitate to give their own opinion. Some people maybe agree with that, and some people think that is kind of strange. On the other side, the further to the right and indirect someone is, the more they feel that harmony is important. They fear that confrontation will or may damage relationships, and they are uncomfortable being open about differences in opinion. They are careful when communicating information that the other person may not want to hear. They sugarcoat, use roundabout and softer ways of saying things, and they may be reluctant to share their own opinion. I'm sure some people have experienced both of these. So, these are different things that different groups will do. These are different countries and where the average, according to this website, sits. Now, most of these countries are not in the room. Some of the countries in this room are not on the table. I'm sorry, but I've made it simple. Every country on this table that is in the room. So, as you can see, Australia, US, Canada is far more confrontational on average than Japan. This does not mean every Japanese person is quiet, and it does not mean every Australian person is loud, but on average. So how close, how different are you to this?
Are you sure the US should be on that side?
I don't think that should be there.
I don't want to have any conflict, but they should be that way.
Katie, New Zealand should be over there, and you'll start to talk to me. So, anyway, I want you to talk for let's go 1 or 2 minutes. Talk to your partner. How can you meet in the middle? If you are very different, what sort of things can you do to work together? What do you think works? What do you think is not helpful? For example, a non-confrontational person, you shouldn't be shouting. A confrontational person, it is more difficult if you are very quiet. So what can you do to meet in the middle? So have a quick discussion with your partner. Okay, thank you everybody. So, in the wise words of Claire McGilvray, you're all very smart, I love you dearly, I'm sure you have good ideas. I'm going to tell you my ideas. So, if your partner is on the left of you, is more confrontational than you, some things you can think about doing are things such as realize that their disagreement is not criticism of your ideas, is criticism of your ideas, but does not mean they dislike you personally. Do not take it personally necessarily. Don't think you're being treated rudely when you are spoken to directly or without the niceties or softness typical of your culture. They think it's normal, you are just surprised at something different. Put your opinion into words and don't hesitate to express it. Sometimes they won't understand until you are direct to them. And also, if someone's behavior is bothering you, let them know, tell them, give them negative feedback because they don't take it personally. And on the other side, if you're, one more, explain your actions. they don't always guess things very easily. So, on the other side, if your partner is on the right and more indirect than you, some things you can think about are avoid disagreeing with them or criticizing them, especially in front of other people. And be careful of your tone and your choice of words when you disagree with them. Be sensitive to subtleties of what the other person says and doesn't say to you. And find methods other than public debate for addressing issues. So one-on-one discussions, one-on-one meetings can be more productive than a big group discussion asking people to speak. And with that, I believe we have graduated from part 1. So now we're going to go to verbal and non-verbal communication, which will range from highly verbal, many words, to non-verbal with very few words. So we have one more activity. We will do this very quickly because I'm going slow. We're going to play charades. Now, before you remember what charades is, when I wrote that word, I didn't remember, so I'm not sure if that's the correct charades. So there will be a picture and a word on the screen. Without speaking, one person will be non-verbal and only use actions to explain the word. And the partner will have to guess. They can ask questions and guess what the word is. So, I'm thinking this one will be ALTs. You will be closing your eyes and guessing the word. JTEs, please look at the screen and then use your hands or your body to explain the word.
But if we close our eyes,
Sorry. The picture will appear.
yeah.
The JTEs will see it. The picture will disappear. You can open your eyes. Yep, sorry. So, ALTs, please close your eyes. JTEs, this is not for you. Don't do this. 1 second. Oh wait, actually, no, don't do that. No, JTEs, this is for you.
That was an interesting
Okay, and finish. So I will give you 1 minute to try and describe your image. So please start. No words. No words. So, for anyone that wants to see, this was your So, now we are going to do one thing a little different, which, 1 second, blind charades. So the next one will be only verbal. So this time JTEs, you will be closing your eyes. You will not see anything. Not yet. So JTEs, you will not see anything. No body language, no smile, only listening. Only listening. ALTs, I don't care what language you use, but you will only speak words. And you will also be, you will have 3 or 4 prohibited words that you cannot say. Okay. So, JTs, please close your eyes or look at the back if you want. I don't care. So, if we're ready, ALTs, this is your word, your thing. So this is your thing. These are your 4 prohibited words. Okay. I'll give you 1 minute. Please start. So, again, we have to skip through for the own reasons. JTs, I was going to ask you to do taxi. It was going to be hopefully difficult. Anyway, so we'll continue. So, again, what you just practiced was non-verbal and highly verbal communication. I think probably on average you practiced what you are better at, but both are very difficult by themselves. So, if you are further on the left and more highly verbal, those sorts of people probably use a lot of words to communicate. They feel that precise communication is important. No hidden meanings, nothing that is left to chance. They also are able to communicate using few words, focus on body language. I have put that very wrong, I'm sorry. I don't know why it's like that. I'm sorry. That should be, they dislike vagueness on the left. On the right, non-verbal. They are able to communicate using few words. They focus on body language, facial expression, tone of voice, and they rely on a shared background or history or understanding. You'd be like, ano hito is that person, and everyone goes, ah, that person. In English, we would say that person from that place at that time who looks like, it's a little bit more direct. So, again, it's not doing the things I wanted to do. There it is. This is the graph. The same averages by country. Some countries, Canada has disappeared. Sorry, Canada. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we will continue. Another quick discussion. How can you meet in the middle? What can you do to work together and to help each other? If you are highly verbal, how can you meet in the middle with a non-verbal person and vice versa? So 2 minutes, please go. You all have lovely ideas. I have very few. I don't want to talk about my ideas. So again, if your partner is on the left and your partner is more verbal than you are, maybe some things you can do to meet in the middle are things like expressing more in your words than you normally would in your own culture with people of the same culture. You don't only rely on tone of voice, facial expressions, or gift giving. Also use your words. I receive omiyage from my teachers and it is very kind. When a teacher says, wow, Damien, you did really good, that is far more powerful and I feel a lot happier. Also, give explanations, definitions, and clear instructions. Sometimes we are running around and we are very confused. We is me. Finally, ask the other person if you've given them enough information, especially if they don't look like they understand, they probably don't. And on the other side, if your partner is on the right and is less verbal than you, some things you can pay attention to non-verbal signals. You can ask good questions, direct questions, to get the information you need. You can create time for a face-to-face interaction. Don't just text, or don't just quickly ask them 5 seconds. Organize the time. You can use visual methods in your written communication, especially across different languages. Drawing a picture is really, really easy. finally, you can be more concise. If you've ever read a professional email, it is 90% rubbish for 3 words of importance. So just use those 3 words. And just like that, congratulations, you've graduated from part 2. So, we have one more section I want to talk about today, and I think we're doing well for time. The final section is a very fun one. It's called risk. How much do you like risk? How much are you risk-seeking versus risk avoidance? So this one is not only cultural, it is relating to age, to gender, to, financial background, health. So, we have one more activity, and more than the last one, Katie, this is where I wanted little Harriet. She was going to love this. That's okay. I'm just going to fire her later. So, we're going to play risk zones. There are 3 zones of risk. So, I think this room is a bit small to be walking around, so I'll just get you to talk together and point on the screen. However, I will again give you scenarios. I want you to think about which zone you fit in. And then I want you to think about where your partner fits. Maybe your ALT is very similar to you, maybe your JT is very different. I don't know. So, first we have a blue zone. Blue is your comfort zone. You feel no stress. It's easy, no worries. Second is your yellow zone. It would have been over there, but it's too small. Second is your yellow zone. It's uncomfortable. You feel stressed, but you can do it. It's not the end of the world. That would have been over near Tyler. Thanks, Tyler. Finally, we have the red zone. The red zone is the nope zone. No. You're just not doing it. It's not happening. It will never happen. You will never do it. That is also fine sometimes. It would have been up the front because that would have been even more scary. So, anyway, just in your partners, discuss together what you would do for each. I'll probably give you 2 minutes per scenario. So the first scenario is a very, very easy one. There is a spider right next to you. There is a spider next to you. Where would you be? Number 2, a little bit more difficult, maybe more complicated. You must introduce yourself to a stranger. So, you must introduce yourself to a stranger. Any field, someone you've never met. Situation number 3. You are speaking in front of a group. So some people don't want to be next to me right now. Love it. You must ask a question when you don't know something. So students, for example, hate this. What do you think? You must ask a question when you don't know something. Finally, number 5. You must talk about yourself. You must feel like talking about yourself. And just like that, we have finished. We have discussed 5 different types of risk and what you think. So again, just think, how much do you like risk? And again, how much does your partner like risk? And how similar or different are you? So, again, the further to the left someone is, the more risk-seeking someone is. They do things such as they are comfortable making mistakes or failing. They think recovery is possible, it's not that big of a deal. They are able to move to action quickly because less preparation is needed. They prepare less, they risk more, it doesn't matter. And they like trial and error and experimentation. If it doesn't work once, it'll work the next time, it doesn't matter. However, the more risk avoidant someone is, the further to the right someone is, they want to avoid making mistakes and failures because it is difficult or impossible to recover from. They move forward cautiously and conservatively. They want data, analysis, and discussion. They want to understand and be ready, have a plan before they do something. So, they also dislike surprises. I'll be honest, I am very risk avoidant, and this slides, this PowerPoint, has been a lot of risk, and I'm really not enjoying the surprises. We're continuing. Anyway, so, one more time, I want you to look at where countries are on the graph. We've added extra countries to that. It's a very interesting analysis. So, of course, this is an average of your country according to one website. It is not always correct. Every person is different. Anyway, one more time, I want you to discuss really quickly. Actually, no, I want to give my ideas. I like my ideas. So we're going to skip this. So, my ideas. If your partner is on the left, your partner is more risk averse and likes taking risks than you, be open to new approaches. Let them try. Give your colleagues the freedom to experiment. Again, let them try. And learn to look at mistakes as opportunities to learn. If they fail once, that's fine. If they fail 10 times, maybe stop them. The first time is fine. However, if your partner is on the right and more risk avoidant, instead, try to understand the concerns they have. What things exactly make them uncomfortable? Avoid spontaneity, avoid surprises, any possibility of error, no matter how minor. If you can, just remove it, just try. And finally, give as much information as possible to help make the person you're working with comfortable. They don't need to be in control, but they need to understand the plan to feel comfortable. So, with that, we have finished. Thank you, everybody. You graduated. have about 2 minutes or until Doomy comes and shouts at me. So does anyone have any questions? Any at all? Sam?
Where do you view yourself on the direct and indirect and the risk avoidance, risk-taking scale?
So as I explained to Sam privately just before this, every scale you have is a version of Sam is direct, big, strong, powerful. Damien is indirect, small, scared. I am over there. Very much on the avoidance side. Any other questions? Excellent. Thank you for listening, everyone. You've finished. Take